Hello everybody, so Sanguinea here with what I hope is a quick video. I just had this idea looking through the leaderboards to kind of go through and just see who I know and who I don't from the first page of the Age of Empires 4 quick match ladder. If you're unfamiliar with exactly what's happening with all of this, so the competitive ladder is not available yet. We don't have ranked. We only have quick play, so that is basically going to be the ladder for a little bit of time. And before I do my preview of Genesis, I kind of want to know everybody who's in that top ranking position because they're going to be having the best seeds, and you would imagine those are going to be the players that are going to be going into the main event itself. So I'm just going to go through them, give one or two sentences about them. I didn't make a script for this. I promise I'll make one for the preview, so you don't have to hear me ramble so much. But the main point that I also want to bring up is if you know any of the players behind these accounts that I personally don't know, please reach out and tell me, like be it in the comments or like my Twitter or whatever place you know me from, so that I can actually find out who they are. I can actually, do a little bit of research, understand a little bit better how they're playing. So I guess let's just kind of jump into it. So obviously, Marine Lord, StarCraft 2 player, he's a fantastic professional player, is very much an Age of Empires 2 player as well. He's been playing it on what's essentially the off-season for StarCraft 2, so he's pretty good. Topcan is a StarCraft 2 content creator, I believe. I am not entirely sure about that, but I know that he is a particularly good player, just good all around, essentially. So I'm not that surprised to see him do well in the ladder. I wouldn't have put it second, but it obviously seems like he's given it his best shot all around. Panda Bear Me StarCraft, obviously Panda Bear Me. I did an interview with him. You can check that out in my channel. He's a great StarCraft 2 player. Isaac is his first name. I don't know much else about him. I know that he is very excited about Age of Empires 4, so I'm pretty sure that him being third on the ladder is gonna make him really happy. Lucifer 7, part of the Duran brothers, two Spanish brothers. We're gonna see the other one in a second. But Lucifer is a fantastic player. He played over 150 games in the closed beta, so I'm not surprised to see him again. He actually had another account before this one, I think, or he might have renamed the previous one, that had like 60-something games, so he's obviously doing really well for himself. League of Legends over RTS, I don't agree with that. I don't know who that is, but I do wish they got more losses, so they would just get kicked out of that one. But I legitimately have no idea. Blaze, Buzz is just a clan, so it's just Blaze. They are an Age of Empires 2 player primarily. I've seen them play in Empire War settings, a couple of random maps. They are not very high up there. I don't know if they've played anything else besides that. So that is the information that I have. I would appreciate more on that. Fantastic, it sounds familiar from somewhere. I have no idea. So again, any information on that would be really appreciated. Mito is a Age of Empires 3 player, really good player, one of the best players in that scene. No surprise to see him here. Really good overall. Delhi Smile, no idea who that is. I would imagine they are a Delhi player, and that's about it. Certain, obviously did an interview with him. It is a written interview that you can find over on my Twitter. Excellent player. He plays in Age of Empires Online, I believe. So he's really good. He's part of this whole branch of Age of Empires Online players that are just excellent at what they do. And now that I'm looking at it again, one of these accounts must be the Mista's account. I wouldn't imagine he wouldn't be in this top 10 in some capacity. So Vortex is the other Duran brother. He's a fantastic player, played in StarCraft 2, played in Heroes of the Storm, played in Warcraft 3, just great all around. You can actually check out an interview that I did with him as well in my channel. Reckon is an Age of Empires Online player, fantastic player, top player. He is coming into Age of Empires 4. I had the opportunity to have an interview with him, but I kind of forgot about it, so I'm hopeful that he will make it into the main event so that I can get an interview with him. Capoch is obviously the Argentinian player. professional Age of Empires 2 player that is coming now to Age of Empires 4. He's really invested into doing well in Age of Empires 4, and I think you can see that from his 53-21 record. So he's fantastic. He's a fantastic player. I also did an interview with him. I have no idea who Goliath is. I would imagine it is a StarCraft 2 player, but I simply don't know. FTW Cheese is I want to say like Command and Conquer or Supreme Commander player. I think I heard him named before, and that is why I think he's coming from one of those games. But anyway, FTWG is fantastic player as well. I've seen a couple of games from them. They're great. They're a really solid player. I'm not surprised to see them at top 15. Zanmato is the other account for Lucifron, or at least I would imagine so, because that was his name on the closed beta. So that is where that's coming from. Blowdeer, I don't know much about them. I know that they are a really good player. I've seen them play in a couple of tournaments. They didn't get too far, but they are pretty good. So top 17, pretty fair. I think they have really good talent. I would imagine that they're gonna do well at Genesis. I don't know if they will qualify, but I think that they will go somewhat far. I am the guy. I have no idea who they are. Give You Anxiety, of course, is the Age of Empires 3 player that is now playing Age of Empires 4. They are fantastic. They're an incredible player. You can see that they have over 160 games played. I would imagine that number is going to rise up to over 200 before we find who's going to move forward in the Genesis qualifier. So that is somebody that you should be looking at. I tried to reach out for an interview with him. Didn't have the opportunity, unfortunately. I Am Magic, I have no idea who they are. Matisse is a StarCraft 2 coach for Alpha. He is really good. He has a ton of experience in the RTS genre because he not only played things in like StarCraft 2, but also Command and Conquer and a bunch of others. So I did an interview with him, and you should check it out. That's the main account from the Mista. You can see over 70 games. If you don't know the Mist at this point, I don't know what to tell you. He's an amazing player. He played in StarCraft 2. He is the best player in Age of Mythology. He even played Age of Empires Online at some point, so you should absolutely be checking him out. Kazu is an Age of Empires 2 player that is also insanely good at Age of Empires 4. You can see 250 games so far. He's just been grinding out everything in Age of Empires 4, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be one of the top players at the event. Of course, you can see that 155 and 102 for his win and losses. I wouldn't be discouraged about that. He's a great player, and I would imagine some of those losses came from just trying things out and finding different things. Nokelsbar, or I'm probably butchering that, but I know who that should be, and I believe that is the Age of Empires 3 player. Fantastic player as well. I've seen a couple of tournaments where he's played, so he's really good. CG Light, I suspect that's a StarCraft 2 player. Not entirely familiar with the name, so if anybody can enlighten me, I would appreciate it. Arc Schematic, or something along those lines. I've seen them play in a couple of tournaments. I've seen them chat around in a few of the places, a few of the Discords that I hang out with. So I know they are a player and that they are pretty good. But I think they've only achieved like top 16s and stuff like that in the smaller tournaments. Not that that's bad, I just haven't had the opportunity to like see a full game of them. Jebediah Kerman, absolutely love Kerbal Space Program, have no idea who they are here. Running is the German Age of Empires 2 player. They're kind of in the same position as Daniel, if you know Daniel from StarCraft 2, or if you've seen my interview with Project Belgium, they are a little bit like Project Belgium. They're in this same situation where they are, I want to say like mid-tier pros, or like semi-pro players, but it's not exactly a perfect term, right? So just really good players, not necessarily the top of their charts, and here we have them playing not a lot of games, but still playing. Scyther is an Australian Age of Empires 4 player, obviously, but also StarCraft 2 player. He's coming here with a bunch of the other StarCraft 2 players from the same region, so no surprise seeing them really high. Atake Anuko, no idea who they are, so if anybody knows, leave it in the comments. Tato is obviously part of Gamer Legion, that is the GL tag, and he's teammates with the Viper, who you can see a position below him, like 2 positions below him. Real good player, Spanish player. I haven't seen too much of him in Age of Empires 4. I know that he's been streaming it a lot, and he's been super excited to get to play it. Obviously, we can see that 87 games is no small feat, so I think that he's gonna do really well. We're gonna have to see. Hut is another strong player, super good player. I think that he's mostly staying to himself and custom games at the moment, just to try and become like a better player overall for Genesis. I've seen a couple of tournaments with him, he's been playing really well, but you know, nothing more notable than that. The Viper recently moved to Facebook Gaming to stream, but he's still an amazing player, particularly when it comes to Age of Empires 2. I don't know about Age of Empires 4, it might just not be the thing that fits him, but he's still pretty good. Soldier, Age of Empires Online or 3? He plays a couple of Age of Empires games, really good player overall. I did an interview with him, which you can find in my channel, and just generally a good player. I have no idea who Count Drogo is, I have no idea who am I is, but great name. I have no idea who Sort of is. I've seen a bit of gameplay from Blade, mainly thanks to Aussie Drongo casting a couple of games, but other than that I don't know too much about them. I know that they are a good player overall, but that's kinda it. I have no idea who Zack is, but given the amount of games that they've played, if that keeps trending that way, cool. If it doesn't, it wouldn't be a surprise. Hashtag stop Mongol Rush. I have no idea who that is, but you know, good name, you can go for it. Iagus is another Australian StarCraft 2 pro who is coming in for Age of Empires 4. Jibad Chris sounds familiar, but I have no idea. Might be an Age of Empires 2 player. Victo I have never seen. Insane I have never seen. Diva I have never seen. Bondra is a German streamer and player. Obviously they're doing pretty well for themselves. I don't know if that is their main account or not. We would have to see. Lemmings I have no idea. Mulfar no idea. Fuser I'm pretty sure comes from StarCraft 2. I wouldn't be entirely sure. I just know that they've been playing a lot. I've seen a couple of games from them. They're really good. Probe, I believe, is the StarCraft 2 player Probe, who's pretty good. So there you go. Top 50 is a really nice set for that. Fat Penguin. The name Penguin reminds me of somebody, but I don't feel confident in saying anything. Pecoraneco, no idea who they are. Trebuchet, no idea who they are. Hagrid, I know from the open stress test, as well as a couple of videos. They are pretty decent overall. They're really good players, so maybe in the next couple of days I will be able to rank up a little bit more. Narasim is a CIS region StarCraft 2 player, so like Russia, Belarus, that region. I don't remember exactly which, but they're a pretty good player overall, so no surprise seeing them here. Nyan Racing Cat, of course I did an interview with him, and he's a pretty good player from Age of Mythology, Canadian, and you can obviously check that out in my channel. And seeing him 56 overall, I think it's fine. He has 85 games under his belt, so he's doing pretty okay for himself. Killer Storm, just 10 wins. I'm not gonna make any sort of thing. I don't know if they're gonna stay here. The EAT tag tells me that they might be from Italy and like some sort of Italy clan, but I have no idea. Danino, probably a Brazilian player, have no idea. Jui, no idea. The Snore, no idea. VNS Cool is probably from the Vietnamese, like the Vietnam strategy clan that exists for Age of Empires 2. So he's probably an Age of Empires 2 player that is coming over. Lagosta was part of the Storm Stress Test Cup, but I didn't really see anything, you know, amazing from them. Still nice to see them here in the top 100. It will be interesting to see where they go. Mr. Bebsy, no idea. Conqueror, no idea. Bondra Red Panda. So, okay, probably these are people from the Bondra community, but not actually Bondra. So they might be slightly different. Striker, of course, I did an interview with him, a written interview with him, and he is a really good Age of Empires or Age of Mythology player. I can't remember exactly, but they are not from Age of Empires 2. That's the important part. They are really, really good. I think they're going to be adapting well to the meta as they evolve. so I would expect to see them go a little bit higher in the coming days. Serral is obviously StarCraft 2 Serral, who's been playing a little bit of the game so far. Getting them here, seeing them here in the top 100 is certainly really nice. I think that he's going to be able to push for a little bit of a better result as things move on. And I would certainly love to see that. I would really like him to kind of go up a level, maybe even go for Genesis, but not entirely sure. Vodka is an Italian player from Age of Empires 2. The ROR tag is their clan, the Rulers of Rome. So there are a couple other players from Rulers of Rome, but it seems like Vodka is the only one that made the top 100 so far. The Sniper AoE is a French player and caster, comes from the Age of Empires 2 scene. They're pretty good. I've seen them in tournaments. They play really nicely. Obviously, there are a couple of things to improve, but you can see that they have over 200 games, so obviously they're pretty experienced. Doubt, if you don't know Doubt, he is from the Age of Empires 2 scene. Pretty amazing player. Has been playing Age of Empires games for over 2 decades now, so he's just absolutely insane. Eerie comes from the Age of Empires Online community. He's a pretty fantastic player overall, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him here. Phantom of Desert, I don't know. Misko, I don't know. Jordan is, of course, Jordan from the Gamer Legion team. They're a German player. He's a German player in a German team. And yeah, just the GL boys are pretty much all together, except for Neely, unfortunately. I don't know who these... I believe that is either Japanese or Korean. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't recognize them at the moment. Symptom is a British player. They're really good. That is as far as I know, really. Not much else. Mixumania, that could be Mixu, but I really don't think so. So I have no idea who they are. Arias, I seen him in the Storm Stress Test Cup. They're pretty good. They didn't get that far. Seeing them in the top 100 is understandable, but I don't know if they'll stay here forever. Why is this game so unbalanced? I don't know. I have no idea why it is unbalanced, and I don't know who this person is. AM Hera. AM here means Aftermath. That is the sort of clan and team that Hera is part of. Of course, Hera is an Age of Empires 2 player, a fantastic Age of Empires 2 player that you can see the interview that I did with him in my channel. Orangutan, no idea. I have no idea who this person is. Dude, I don't even know what a cold is, but you know what I mean. I have no idea. Mania C2, I don't know who they are. I would imagine they come from StarCraft 2. That's as far as my knowledge goes. My SUW, no idea who they are. Viles is an Age of Empires 2 player. Again, same rank as Project Belgium. They are really good. They get into top 16s, but they haven't really been a main name in the entire scene for like a long time. Something like the Viper, right? Zugilian? Maybe? I don't know how to pronounce that. I have no idea who they are. Hamed, no idea. Kama, I actually casted a game with Kama in it that will be going up tomorrow morning for me. I don't know what time it's going to be for you, but they're okay. They're pretty good. Top 100 makes sense, but I don't know if they're going to stay or fall. I just simply don't know. Asu, no idea. Snoopa, no idea. XOXO, no idea. Calentius, no idea. Places, no idea. Exet, I've seen them play in the $100 tournament for Turing, which, by the way, there is another weekly going this Wednesday. But they got kind of far, but I really don't know how good they are. I didn't cast or see any of their games, so I would need to find that out a little bit more. England Smile, I would imagine they're friends with Delhi Smile, but I no idea who is behind that account. Nakamura, of course, is the content creator, caster, and player. Nakamura. They're usually a sort of Age of Mythology player, but it's really nice to see them here in Age of Empires 4. I think they're going to be trying to get through the grind and become a solid Age of Empires 2 player, Age of Empires 4 player, but I don't know. Donarty, no idea who they are. Kestrel, no idea who they are. I think it sounds familiar, but I'm really not sure. FSEHH2O. I don't know, and I don't know which part of that is the tag, so any information is welcome. And also don't know who Jerry is. And given both are 11-11, I would imagine that we're not gonna be seeing them for too long in this ladder. So yeah, that's the full first page of who I know and who I don't. I think I know like a solid third. I didn't keep count, but you know, knowing a solid third of the players here, I think is pretty good. And there are gonna be more tournaments, and as more tournaments happen and things like that start to develop, I think it's gonna be a little bit easier to keep track of like who is who and who do you need to keep an eye on. But at the moment, everything is just so ephemeral, right? You have to just trust that you know who are the top players. And at the moment, I don't know if I trust myself. But I'm going to be having that Genesis preview in a couple of days. That is going to be coming out on Friday. So if you're interested to hear a little bit more of my organized thoughts on all of the players that I think are going to be making that top 8, then, you know, make sure to get a subscribe to my channel. I really hate saying click the notification bell, but I suppose I'll say it here. And yeah, I'm also streaming, so you can find the link to my stream down below, and you can follow if you want to. And I'm gonna be casting games. I'm gonna be working with a bunch of organizers to cast their tournaments or to be part of their sort of organized team as much as I can, because I really love the team and I wanted to get it better. There is also the competitive Age of Empires 4 subreddit, not subreddit, the Discord. Link to that in the description below if you want to join it. I think quite a few of these players are there, not for you to ping them, but for you to like kind of follow through and see what are the discussions on a competitive subreddit. But I maybe should have made this scroll part a little bit faster, huh? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening or day, and yeah, see you around, everybody.